I randomly met Rob Dyrdek through MySpace.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How'd you encounter him on there? And was he famous yet? Or was he still just a skater at that time?
No, he was like Robin Big was already popping. It was actually one of my favorite shows.
Because we've had drama on here before. So
nice.
we've had a little bit of background on what that whole time was like a little bit, I guess.
So drama's actually how like kind of happened. So basically I would go and I would add all the top artists on MySpace, and then I would add all their top friends. I figured it was like they might have a manager, somebody important in their top friends. So I would add all the top artists, and Drama was, still making beats back then, and he was on the top artist because he was like popping from Rob and Big. So I added him, and then in his top friends was like Rob, his brother Big Cat, who's also on the show with us, a couple skater homies, and I ended up becoming friends with all of them first. So they led me to meeting Rob, basically.
How did you become friends though? Was it a flirty thing at all at first?
Not on as much on my part. I think maybe he was trying to flirt with me more. But yeah, no, like I was just like, I've always been like about networking, and I was just trying to like, I was like, oh, you make beats, like let's work, you know? And then I formed like a friendship with Drama and his brother and their homies. Like they became like kind of like my brothers, you know?
And then how that conversation start where they were like, yo, like we think that you might be the person to sit here and laugh at viral videos, which a lot of people consider to be like the best job you could ever have.
Thanks. Well, that's a lot later. Actually, first it was Fantasy Factory.
Right. Okay, yeah.
So actually, Rob admitted this to me recently. He was like, that Drama and my boys had said to him like, oh, she thinks she's a rapper. I'm like, oh, so they were talking shit. Okay. So Rob then met me, and then Rob met me and realized like I'm very authentic and real, and and he was like, nope, she's very rappy, like she's a rapper. And so and I don't know, Rob said from when he met me, like they had already been thinking about getting a girl on the show. So I just was like funny and kind of like fit the mold perfectly, I guess, and they asked me to be on it.
That's tight.
Yeah. And then I don't know how that led to Ridiculousness. That's
right. Which is more fun to film? Because one is like action packed, zany, and like one you're kind of just chilling on the couch, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess I've grown to like Ridiculousness a lot more now because I have hair and makeup, which is a big difference in Fantasy Factory.
Really? They wouldn't get you dolled up for the show?
No, it's a show with all guys. They don't understand, I guess. And then they're like, you're cute, like you don't need it. I'm like, okay, whatever. So filming Fantasy Factory was like being in high school again, like every day, like what do I wear? Gotta do my hair and makeup cute, because but except it's millions of people seeing you, not just high school. Ridiculousness, it's a better styling budget, and as a girl that's a great thing to have. And I think since being on that show too, maybe people started to think I was hotter because I do have that now. Okay. So I like that part a lot more.
Yeah. Was it weird for you when you first got on TV to go from like you had been kind of just working and trying to become a musician or whatever, and then all of a sudden you're famous for fucking being on TV, just fucking around in this weird factory all the time?
It was very weird. I never wanted to do like reality TV or anything, but like the day that Rob asked me, I remember I literally had like a little pile of change I scrounged up to go to In-N-Out. And I like kind of looked at my little pile of change and was like, I do need some money. So I'll take the job. So I didn't want to, I couldn't be, beggars can't be choosy. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, let me take this job, see where it leads me. And yeah, I'd never thought I mean, I've been doing music my whole life. That was always my goal since I was a little girl. I never thought I'd be famous for just like fucking around and laughing and shit, Right.
Had anyone ever told you that they thought you had an interesting laugh prior to being on TV? Or did that meme start on TV?
I try to remember, like, did people ever like tell me about if they liked I don't think so. I think it was like once they heard it on TV, it became a thing. Because like I even was asking my friends, I was like, yo, do you guys remember my laugh being this? They're like, you always had that laugh. But I'm like, but nobody ever said anything. Nobody ever told me it was a cool laugh or like funny, So I think it was after being on TV that like so many people could hear it amplified and like be like, oh, that's a funny laugh.
Right. Is there anything else like that? Like shit that people point out that you wouldn't necessarily have known or thought about?
Not really. I mean, I think it's weird. I think that TV sometimes too, like, especially in the environments I'm in on Rob's shows, I think that they see me as like only like happy and like and like goofy, and so I think that maybe if anything, people just didn't get to know really who I am like as a whole. which kind of bugs me. Because I think that's like one of the biggest setbacks for me. As much as being on the show has been so great for my life and such a fun like journey, and I've made a good amount of money off of it. My passion is music, so it's been a big setback for me because people just don't like get how I'm happy and funny, but like, why is this girl a rapper? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think it's hard to balance that, to be taken serious as a musician while also like being on TV and really, only getting to demonstrate? It would be one thing if you're on TV and it was like a reality show all about your life and it sort of showed some kind of depth. But the reality is you don't really get that on TV. It's like on TV, they're going to turn you into sort of a cartoon of what you really are.
Yeah, exactly. No, it sucks because I think that, like I just told you, like a couple things I've been through in my life, things like that. People don't know. They don't know the hardships I've had to deal with. They don't know the struggle. They don't know my life. I think they see me in like, I got like a kind of like Taylor Swift look. Maybe they imagine like I got a mom and dad like happy holding hands with a golden retriever, and like I grew up in this nice big house or something. Like I know my looks might like come off like that, but like that's not me, So it's very hard for me to. I feel like I couldn't even fully be myself for a while. I feel like now I'm getting to fully be myself because it's just that's how I want to be. But yeah, it's been hard.
Yeah,
because I can't. Like for example, it's like I played a receptionist on Fantasy Factory. I wasn't a real receptionist. When I worked a real receptionist job, you think I was coming to work like acting like my little ratchet self? No, I had to be professional and classy because it's a fucking job. Right. So when I go on Fantasy Factory to play a receptionist, obviously I'm gonna be like sweet and professional and proper. I'm not gonna be coming in fucking cursing and like smoking blunts. Like I'm a receptionist.
That would be tight though. You can't do that really on TV.
That would be tight though.
Right.
But yeah, exactly. So
it feels like. Yeah, when they sort of want to turn you into a cartoon of that, but then like the whole thing of being a musician is that you're like trying to sort of demonstrate some kind of depth. Like you're trying to present yourself as something that is, interesting enough that people really want to be interesting enough that people want to take you seriously as an artist or whatever is its own specific thing. And it's always, I feel like now, and maybe you were even kind of early on this, but now it seems like it's so much more common for an artist to have a podcast or to do vlogs or whatever. And that's kind of like something that maybe you were sort of early on, because like I remember Joe Budden them telling him that he was never going to be able to be like doing what he's doing now while he was a rapper. And it's like now it feels like it probably wouldn't be that much of a compromise to do both at the same time.
No, totally. I think it's a little bit different with me just because like I'm a little white girl. And like I don't think people want to accept that I'm actually like dope at hip hop and like that's really who I am. But like Ludacris said it best when I was on an episode of Fear Factor. He was asking me like what it's like, to transition from TV to music. And I said, it's weird because sometimes I think when people transition from TV or film to music, they're not accepted as easy. But a lot of people transition from music to acting much easier. And Ludacris goes, he goes, I used to be a radio host and nobody thought they would be like, you're not going to be a rapper, bro.
Right.
Like, what are you talking about? And he goes, and now look at me, 20 million albums sold. So he's like, you just got to keep pushing. And at the end of the day, people will finally see you for what they're supposed to see you for.
Right. I mean, there's sort of like people want to have like an easy like white girl stereotype to kind of pick on, especially in rap, just because that is sort of the image is that like a white girl or whatever, that they sort of get this like preferred special treatment and stuff like that. So it's kind of like when you become famous without fully putting your entire personality on display through whatever you're becoming famous for, then it just opens that up for people to be able to paint you as what they want you to be.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Do you feel like somebody like Charlamagne, when he tried to come at you on that thing, you think he was just taking like the easiest shot possible? Or how did you feel about that whole situation?
That was very confusing for me, honestly, because it started because he had randomly tweeted one day that I was a whack rapper. That means you were checking for me, one, to even have to formulate an opinion. You must have listened to something, right? So you were checking for me and went out of your way to tweet that I was whack. So when he came on Ridiculousness, something came up about him saying, something about his opinions. And I said, well, that's exactly. I said, just because it's your opinion, don't make it a fact. And that's kind of what started our little thing. And I think that part of me thinks he went at me more to like, I don't know if it was to push me or what, because I I feel like secretly like he likes me and fucks with me. You know what I mean? It's like you were checking for my music in the first place. Why?
Being honest,
you know what I mean?
I've watched so many Breakfast Club interviews, and I've never seen Charlamagne as happy, as full of glee than he was in that display. Like, he was stomping his feet. He just looked so full of joy to like actually just have a chance to roast somebody on somebody else's show. It was kind of crazy to see how much fun he was having.
I know it was. I don't get it. I don't really get it. Yeah, but as I said, you know, opinion's an opinion. We all got them, just like a fucking asshole. So it's like we all got them. It doesn't make you any better than the next because you have a certain opinion, you know. And I think that especially when it comes to music, it's like I don't know why his opinion on my music should really matter to anybody, because it's like he's a radio host, you know? If he wants to go and be a rapper just like Ludacris, go do it, bro. You know? Why you gotta sit here and hate on every rapper? Yeah. Like
it's weird too. Like, we've been having this conversation in rap a lot lately because, like, for instance, Sway Lee put out a song featuring Drake, and then Joe Budden, who is admittedly like a big Sway Lee and Drake fan, he comes out and basically just says this song is fucking horrible. He went in on the song. He hated it so much. And then Sway Lee sort of put out this whole video being like, why the fuck are you talking about me? I don't give a fuck about you, et cetera, et cetera. And it kind of raises that whole question in rap. Like, you know, is it okay to just have an opinion about somebody's craft? And like, is it reasonable to expect the artist not to get offended when this is their craft that they worked so hard on?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I just don't get why. First of all, it's like, there's been a couple songs that I think are trash, but like, I don't go out of my way to like post about it. I'm just go on and find a fucking song that I like. You know, it's like the same thing when you go to shop for a car. I think I got this from a comedian. I'm like spitting it like it's my knowledge, but it's like you go to look for a car and you don't sit there and diss all the cars you don't like fuck that car, I don't want that piece of shit. You fucking find the car you like. You know what I mean? So it's like, why do you got to go out of your way to state opinions of shit you don't like? Just go and find what you like and focus on that. I think that's what everybody needs to do, and this world would be a much more peaceful place. Straight up.
And the internet has really empowered that, because it's like, if you were famous in the 80s, you would never really know if people didn't like you unless like they wrote a letter to the newspaper, or I don't know. The newspaper. They like somehow, like if they went outside MTV and like held a sign or something, like it would be really hard for you to let a celebrity know that you don't like them back then. Now it's like they just pull up to your Instagram, drop some comments. Yeah. But at the same time, it's kind of like anyone, regardless of if you're beloved or not beloved, anyone is getting so many negative comments that it's almost hard to even take it serious, you know, because there's so much positivity and so much hate. For me, at least, like, I don't see a negative comment and really think twice about it unless it's really, really well written.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. And when it's really, and then sometimes I'm like, dang, they're kind of smart, but I still don't agree. You know?
Or like maybe they know me.
Yeah.
That's the weird part.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, they really knew how to hurt my feelings there.
That's happened to me a couple times. I'm like, yo, these people, like, it's like they read my mind. They really hit me where it hurt. But for the most part, I try to, you know, I tend to go and look at somebody who leaves a negative comments page, and they tend to have very little followers. Private,
41 followers.
Exactly. And then I kind of just feel bad. You know, it's like, I feel bad for, like, I can't name all my friends. I got so many friends, you know? And it's like, for people, there is people out there who only have 20 friends. And I can understand where, you know, maybe some loneliness or something like that could make you just say mean things or something. I don't know. I think it's just like, so I just I used to go off super hard, but then I'm like, dang, I might be really hurting this person way more than they're hurting me, you know? So it's just like, I try my best to ignore them. Unless they say something really fucking stupid and I need to check them, then I'll check them.
When you are going through something like that Charlamagne clip going viral, like, what's your mentality on it? Are you actually staying on Twitter looking at it? Are you pissed off? Are you just like, whatever?
No, I definitely wouldn't look at it. I mean, like, when that clip went viral, I actually was kind of thankful that Charlamagne originally posted that tweet calling me a whack rapper, because that would have never happened. And then I wouldn't have had this viral moment where I was able to tell the world what a lot of people needed to know. You know, a lot of people sleep on me, and it's like, I have worked with legends. You know, people like Be Real. You can watch our Smokebox episode. Even Be Real goes, how many OGs got to give you the cosign for these kids to get it? I don't know. Somebody tell me, you know? So it's like, that's why I spit those facts to Charlamagne, because a lot of people do sleep on me, and a lot of these kids do hate. And it's like, I have legends in rap who fuck with me. So why, you know, why does Charlamagne's or any of these kids' opinions matter. And I felt like I needed to use that moment to state a couple facts, because Ridiculousness is a great platform that I don't really ever get that chance to talk about my music. You know, we've got 400 something episodes, maybe 3 or 4 have been really like heavily talked about my music. So I kind of was happy that moment happened.
You know what the craziest thing about that clip is? Because we just watched it earlier, is that Charlamagne says, everybody wants to mention Drake and Nicki, but nobody wants to mention Lil Twist and Tyga. Tyga, like 2 years ago, it was like a joke, like his career was over. And now, like, I was just in England and he was like fucking super high up on the bill at this huge festival they were doing, and everybody was going insane in the crowd.
Yeah, no, well, even when Charlamagne said that though, he was still kind of popping. It's like, yo,
right, yeah.
he doesn't know anything about the politics. There's a lot of shit, which I don't even want to get into, but a lot of people don't know a lot of politics behind certain things of people who were signed to Young Money and things like that. A lot of people don't know things, so they don't know the struggles that people like me or Tyga or a lot of other artists who were Young Money affiliated have went through. So Charlamagne's just speaking blindly like a bunch of fucking people do.